Okay, let's do another one. Let's see here. So I finished off by making the level load data work in both the board creator and on play. So I'm able to save in the board creator. I'm able to create, I'm able to create maps, right? And I can save this out and reload this configuration again. Now, the reason why I started doing that originally was because I hit a roadblock in that I needed to do that in order for me to have like at least a base framework for me to build up on top of, right? Because being able to edit maps and do that sort of thing, and then being able to add functionality on top of maps afterwards, is important so that I could have a solid base. So that'll be expanded on, but at least now I have maps that work, maps that can load, things like that. So what I meant by being blocked is because I was going to start tackling movement, character movement. So let me see where I am here. 1 second. Okay. So I have the movement code, but what I need to do is create the various different states. So the states being selecting a character to know which one I want to move. Then when that character is selected, I'm in a new state where I need to go and select the tile where I want that character to move. And then when I select that tile, I move into a new state, which is the character moving to that tile and creating those various different sequences, right, of actions and inputs, expected inputs, stuff like that. So this is the movement. This is base movement. Okay, and we have a walk movement. So there's going to be different walk or different movement types. So walk, teleport, flying, whatever, right? The walk movement, though, is probably the most complex because it requires that the character that is in one of the hexes rotates towards the next one it's going to go to and then goes over. And then when it's here, it rotates to the next one it's going to go to and then goes over. And then if there's a cliff, it needs to jump and it needs to detect if the character's height is high enough. Like, can it jump that high, or does it need to go around high cliffs? Stuff like that. Whereas if you're flying, you don't really have that so much. Or if you're teleporting, you're not moving from one to the next. You just disappear and appear somewhere else. And you don't have to worry about terrain navigation and stuff like that. So it's not at all what I wanted to open. This one here. Okay. So this here is the walk movement. That's the logic for the walk movement. I know right away there is going to be an issue with the directions here. So here what's happening is they're in the traverse function. This is intended to turn the character. Is this not implemented? Turn? I don't think turn is implemented. Walk is, jump is, turn is not. Funny. Is it in movement? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Turn was just didn't override and walk. It comes from the because walk movement is actually from movement. It's like added to it. Okay, so turn is here. Now the thing that concerns me is I know that in direction, unit view, direction, directions, direction, because I know that in one of them here, see here I have them correct. I have all 6 directions, but I know somewhere I didn't do it that way. I only have 4, as if it was tiles that are 4-sided like squares and not hexagons with 6-sided. And I also believe that in the turn, yeah, all this I commented this out here because there needs to be, this is just intended to, I'm gonna have to come in here and add stuff here because the turning is actually here, and I commented it out because I knew this was going to be a problem, so I have to come back to it and reorder, because here it's all like you know, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, but I need it to increment by 30 degrees because it's 30, 30, 30, 90. I'm getting confused in my numbers here, but ultimately, because it's hexes, there are more different. There were different degrees, but I also feel like something else is missing. This is the actual rotation over time. I believe it is. It's in an I enumerator. Transform Euler. Oh, here's a time. It'll be in here, easing in and easing out. It's a special animation library. Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, this will get there when we get there. So that's the movement. So where am I now? I'm at the state. So the initiating battle. So we're going to go to the where all the states are. Not here. Or is it here? Oh, it might actually be here, yeah. Oh, it is here. Yeah. Okay. So in this script here, right now, I have all my states in this script. What would be nicer? See, reset state, show target state. What would be nicer is if each one of these were their own like file and not under battle controller. So eventually I'll probably split that out there just so it's cleaner, but for now, I'm just adding it as like one master script. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Initiate battle. Let's go to the init battle. This is move target. Override, move target, and enter init battle. Okay. So init battle, override, enter, base enter. Okay, here we just go in, and this is just, we're changing the state right away. So this gets run. Nothing happens other than this being printed in the console. And once we start, like when we start here right now, when we start the game, and this just goes straight to move target state. But we're going to do something a little different. Now, I've been doing a lot of refactoring. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this part here in. I feel like base enter. I'll keep that. And select unit state, I'm going to do this. But the IEnumerator init is not being called. So I'll have to figure out when this gets called normally. Here, what we want to do is load the level data. And I don't know why it's set up for it to be an IEnumerator. Like it returns yielding here. Because you only really want to do this once. Select tile P. So I think I'm missing something. This might be too close to my mouth here. Let me see. What is this called? This is called init. I'm just going to do a quick search for init in battle states. Yeah, it doesn't really. Huh. I just don't know where init gets called. That's what throws me off. I'll put this here. And I'll bring this here like this. All right, so these are the various scripts that I'm refactoring for Hex. And I'm also, there's a lot more because this is not just, I'm not using this project as is. I'm using this project through different event. I'm using a different event system for chained events. So that's something else I have to refactor as well. Complicates things. But right now, none of that's being used, so it's straightforward for now. And sometimes there's peaks of difficulties when those things are involved. Okay, let's see. This is the move sequence. I'm not here right now. I am move, select unit state, init. You see here, init battle state initiates 3 copies of our hero prefab and places on the board. Fine. This code is only placeholder and will be removed later. Okay. It allows to test 3 movement types. Invoke the following method just before the init method, yield, for a frame, and then have it change. That's what I don't understand. Like, what's the point? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you need an IEnumerator and you have it yield. Oh, probably because you need this stuff to propagate. Wait for 1 frame, so this stuff does propagate, and then change the state. That's probably why. It's like an order of operations thing, I guess, to an extent. Sometimes when you're doing stuff, when you're manipulating things in code, and it gets passed along in different places, like you maybe what would have happened is you would have done all this without the yield here. You would have done all this, gone into select unit state, and then select unit state expects these things to be done, but it's still part of that same frame, and this stuff wouldn't have like gone into the other parts of it, like propagating. I don't know if that's probably not the right word, but sometimes you got to wait a frame for the whole thing to go and get done correctly before you call something else, and that's probably what this is. You're letting all this happen. You wait for the next frame, that way everything's been done, and then you do this. But then that means that you got to call init. Anyways, here it is right here. So board load level data. That's fine. Now right now we're in the battle controller, and what we need is the board. the board, okay, I don't need any of this, so clear all that. The board is here. Now I could put level data here. Now what I did do is I put the level data here. Under no, board creator has level data and board view has level data, I believe. Doesn't it? Oh, right here, yeah. But the script I'm looking at is battle controller. Oh, there is a board here. Oh, it is board view. Okay, then that should not have been underlined. Is level data public? Yes, it would be because I could change it. Then what the heck is battle controller complaining about? Board. What is it saying here? Battle controller level data. Oh, I know what it's doing. I mean, I could just do this. But do I want to put my level data in the battle controller or in the board view? Let me think about that one. I mean, they're both fine. Level data is board, and but then battle controller, you're having a battle on the board. I mean, they both fit fine. It really doesn't matter. But for the sake, is it? I mean, it really doesn't change a damn thing. I think I'll just leave it in board view, but I could initialize it here. So I'll leave it there, but board is not being called right now. Whoop. Ah, geez, there. But board right now doesn't exist. So what we're gonna do, oh, it does exist. Oh, right. Okay, it exists here, but it needs to be a mono behavior. And right now, my states do not use mono behavior. This whole thing is init battle state. It is from battle state. And then battle state is from base state, and base state has no mono behavior. Because I wanted all this logic to not need unity. Yeah, unity, right. So Christ, I'm lost. Board creator? No, battle controller. Okay. So how do I get the board view? I can't. Excuse me. Right, so this is part of the problem. This state does not exist in mono behavior, right? So when I say mono behavior, is we'll just say within like almost like a namespace that is unity, and all this stuff is outside of that. Kind of like it could run without unity, like a console script or something. It still works in Unity, but problem is that the only way to speak to Unity for this script stuff that's not part of Unity, to speak with Unity, is to have a bridge between the two. You can't just connect to whatever you want whenever you want. So I cannot say, hey, board is here, just take it directly. Because it would be able to do that if the other part was also inheriting from mono behavior. But it's not. However, the bridge is here, game. Now, when game is there, I get a component called game view system. And game view system is the real bridge, actually. I'll show you here. Right now we're on board. This here accesses game. And the variable game is a reference to game view system, which is right up here. Game view system. And, oh, battle control. Sorry, this is referencing game view system, not board, sorry. This battle controller is referencing game view system, and game view system is not only a mono behavior, but also an I aspect. And the I aspect is exactly that other system. It speaks to both. This game view system is the bridge. And you access all the game systems on the other end, everything that's not mono behavior. I believe it is in the container. Am I mistaken? That's right. Container. And container, basically, Game Factory is all of these systems. And all of these systems are outside of mono behavior. And I'm wondering what system should store the level data. It could be hex grid. Data. Match. I think there's a match. Like a round, could be there too. Let me take a look at data real quick. Oh, here's the match. So in a match, so normally the match would have the players and this and that. A match is a collection of two players and with the ability to keep track of whose turn is it. Yeah, so it keeps track of the match data. You know, this would be a good place to put the data, the level data. I want to see what else I have. Oh, match system. Yeah. Player, network, destructible, victory, card, minions, mana, attack, combatant, death, enemy, taunt, target, spell, hex grid. Now, what do I have in hex grid? Oh, here we go. This takes in map data, points, and passes it to the viewer for this is where I want it. Now, I don't think I'm using this right now. This was all part of my experimental testing. But this looks like where that would need to go. So let me think. Tile. Just thinking. Even create tile. No need to load tiles because loading a tile is only for the viewer, only in Unity. Unity is the viewer. It allows for the player to view things. It's the visual. This side here is all the code side, and it's completely decoupled. So that means I could run an instance of a game. I mean, if this was done, this could be done in a way where you could run an instance of a game and not have any visuals, and all the code would work. That's the general idea. So what I need to do is pass I'm thinking is pass that's the board creator. It would need to be the, I believe, the board view here. The board view would need to pass this data into, hold on, I gotta start closing some stuff here. I don't need level data. I don't need, yeah, I'll keep board creator. I don't need the inspector. And I don't need the input controller. Okay. And we said it was hex grid, right? Yeah, okay, we'll bring this over here as well. So what I need to do is I need to pass from the battle controller, level data, into the hex grid system in order to then be able to have the movement, which I closed, I believe, to be able to calculate the character's movement. And then when that's done, it passes back throughout. So I'm removing the logic complete. It's like doing things 4 times instead of directly accessing it. It's super annoying. But there are advantages to it. Primarily with having to build a server on this thing. So I don't know. It's very, very convoluted, but I'll try that. And the goal, I guess, will be to, if I set myself up with a goal here, the goal will be able to access this in the battle controller, to be able to access the level data. Let me think here. Let me think further ahead there. When I do get access to this, what is that going to give us? Okay. 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 I go to a new state. See, each thing that it does here is making me think I have to do it twice. Because it's just like a server. But if I did have a real server, I'd have to do it like 4 times to multiply the data. Yeah. Thinking. See, if I have access to this, that means it's on the non-Unity side, because this entire thing, this entire state is not in Unity, not in mono behavior. I'll say mono behavior. It's not in mono behavior. I'll have access to this. Create new points. I could create new points, no problem, on the non-mono behavior stuff. Create new points, and then I select tiles. So the tile could be selected, but there's no visual element to this because it's not in mono behavior. So the tile becomes selected, and I start spawning units. Again, nothing visual, it's all just data. Then I yield, and I go to another state. And then each thing here that gets done needs to then, like for example, spawn units, needs to then not just create the data, but then hook into the viewer. And the viewer needs to make that visible in the game. That's how it should be done. It's much more complicated than doing it straight up. Oh, a fly flew into my drink. Gosh, okay. But, I mean, when it comes to server time, it'll be a lot easier because I'd be able to just take all this, which lives on its own outside of mono behavior, right? It doesn't have mono behavior, and just throw it all on the server. But I don't even know if that's the best way to do it, because you start implementing issues like server lag for very basic stuff, especially if you put everything on there. But that's the idea anyway. Okay. Then if I do it, I'll get familiar with that process. So, all right. So what we need to do is we need to take the board view and put it in the hex grid system. Tile list dictionary. Yeah, I don't know why I'd have a tile list and a dictionary of tiles, because ultimately it's the same damn thing. Am I using tile list anywhere? I am. Width and height, okay. Yeah, I guess, but I don't have width and height anymore. It's really on a point basis. And here what I do is I create a new point. I create a tile. Point height I++. What is I int I? Oh yeah, it goes and puts it in the list like that. Okay. So this is generating essentially a flat map. This is a flat map. Height is always int h. H must be equal to something pretty, yeah, 0. Okay. So height never changes. It's just 1 across the entire x and y based off of height. Okay, so that's generate the map. Now, generating one or putting or loading in one. So what I could do here in the hex grid system, create tile, I could load. So what I could do is I could do a public void load map. What's it called? Data? Or load level data, I think. I'll double check that. Let me see what it's called. Level data, yeah. Now, level data right now is coming from Unity as a scriptable object, and it's basically just a list of vector 3s. Eventually, it'll probably not come from Unity. I'm not even sure how it'll end up, but right now that works. So vector 3s, load level data. And then create tile. Point height int. But that is to go into the list. We don't want it to go into the list. We want it to go into the tiles dictionary, which right now, oh, it does get added here. It gets added to the list and in a dictionary. It's very redundant. But all I need is a tile to be the dictionary. There's no point in having this list. So, we want a point and tile that works. Okay. And let's just take a look at the tile class. Ooh, there's a lot in here. Center, I don't need center. Load. Just thinking, because there's a lot of stuff in here that's only useful for Unity. Yeah, you see, I wrote a note here. I don't need center, because center is just to be able to put stuff in the center of that tile visually in a global space for the Unity game engine. And that's not something that I need for the data side of things. Because nothing will be visual on this. It's just data. Public void load. Let me think here. Tile previous is going to be important. And int distance is going to be important for pathfinding. And the pathfinding will be done on this side of things. Unit is important because we want to know if there's a unit on this tile. And eventually that'll be expanded like all sorts of things, you know, like is this tile on fire or is this tile like poisonous or whatever, mud or whatever. Hex coordinates. Now I don't use this anymore, but I don't think, I think it might be useful at some point. I've still not decided on that one. Point is fine. Step height. I don't think that's necessary. And all it needs to do is step height could be, no, I don't need step height. Okay. So creating a new tile. We'll set the point is a point create point P. I'm not sure why I'm doing a create point there, because it's already got P coming in. It should just be P, I think. No, I'm declaring it here. It should be fine, I think. See, this is probably going to return a new point. Yeah. I don't know if that's pointless or not. Anyways, coordinates. But in this one here, do I return a new coordinate? I do. Okay. I'm just not sure if I'm creating a new coordinate or a new point when I'm already making some here, or if these don't exist at all and I have to create new ones. Anyways, and the height. I don't think I need to create new ones. Not sure. Anyways, match is not needed because I'm not putting those anywhere in the space. That was used to visually place the hex in the right transform values for it to be in the global space. Okay, and this is a load point, public void load point. I'm getting a little confused here. I don't think I need that. And I don't... Oh, yes, I do. If I create a new... Yeah, load used to... Because I could just call this set... I'll just do set data. It'll come in when I create the new tile, and I'll set the data, and the data will be a point of that tile. Set tile data. Vector 3. For now, yeah, that works. Because, but later eventually it'll be, when there's more stuff to set, just one vector 3 won't work, but for now that works. And I'm using the vector 3 x, y, and z. And I got the weird suspicion that I need to do this with it, like this. Okay, that looks good. So tile is good. Hex grid system. Right. So we have the dictionary. Generate hex map. See, I don't think I want to generate. I want to do something else here. I don't want to generate hex map. I want to load level data. Now, this is being called here in game view system. So when, but what I could do is if level data, I could load, I could generate hex map, right? Just a flat map. Else if else level data load level data, right? I'll leave it like this for now, but those are my notes for later. So if we did put level data anywhere here, we'll load the level data. If there's no level data, similar to what I had before, or the flat map would load, we'll just generate a flat map. Right, so this is generating the flat map. So this entire function won't get called unless, and otherwise we'll create a function here that is specifically intended to load the level data. Now the level data passes in a vector 3. But I don't think the vector 3 mono behavior is the same as a normal vector 3 in C#, basic C#. I'm not 100% convinced with that one yet though. So let's go ahead and just do try that and let's see. So if not, we'll work around it. But we do have... trying to remember where the hell I did that. Board creator, tile view, battle controller. No. It would have been under board view. And board view, see in board view we have the tiles here. Okay, there's a lot of, the word tile is used everywhere. This is the one here. For each vector 3 in level data tiles, okay. So that's okay. I could add them. But I'm wondering if in a dictionary I need to define the length of it first. I'm not sure. See here? Yeah. See here, I'm doing it here. I'm actually going into the game.getAspect hexgrid system tiles. And this is good. This could be easier. For each one, for each, if it's less than that, then do that. And for each one, instance game.getAspect.tilesList_I height. Okay, here's what I'm doing. I created the list of tiles. This is when there's no level data. I created the list of the tiles in the non-mono behavior side of things. And here what I'm doing is I'm reading that data in the non-mono behavior side of things. And I'm placing it visually in Unity to represent the non-mono behavior side of things. I'll have to get a better word for that because it's too long to say non-mono behavior. Which is great because I could reuse this for this part. Board view. That would make sense. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, so that's nice. But right now, I'm generating this. Do I define the height at any point? I don't define the length of this at any point, so I don't need to define the length of that. Okay. Well, that's great. So what I could do is load level data. I need to create the tile first. And then after the tile is created, I take the point of that tile as its key, and the tile itself is the value of that key. And then with the key and the value, I could put that in the dictionary. So I can't pass through level data because it's a scriptable object, which is a unity type to an extent, which is basically just a list of dictionaries. But I could probably pass through a list of, or a list of Victor 3s, but I could probably pass through a list of Victor 3s. We could try that. Do I want to try that? And then for each, let's try it and see. So Vector 3 list, and it's going to be called level data. For each do I need to? No. I don't remember how to do for each. Vector 3, we'll call it tile in level data. Now this is where point P equals a new point. That's fine. It's going to be tile.x. That should be tile.x should be vector 3. Why doesn't that work? X component of the vector. IntelliCode suggests based on this context. Yeah. Why is it telling me that? XY. What's wrong with it? Cannot convert from float to int. Oh. Gotcha. Okay. So that point, and then height. This one is just that, but it should have I'm going to call it tile data because it's not an actual tile. Because just to avoid confusion, I'm going to create a new tile. And I'm going to call it tile, and it's going to be called new tile. I don't know if I could auto. Is there tile point and height? So all I need is the height here. So I can actually create this after the point. And what I'll do is I'll put point in and I'll put height in, which will be tile data Z. Turn that into an int. So my new tile is now created. And then what I want to do is I want to put it in the dictionary. So we're going to create tile. What is the point of create tile? Creates a new point and height, adds tiles. Oh, it adds them. In the listings, yeah, that's not what I want to do. I could just do it right here. So what I'm gonna do, tiles dot add point and tile. There we go. Now, why is that underlined? Method must have a return type. Oh. Okay. Oh, and what's this? It's because I got capitalized L. Now, what I'm wondering is if this vector3 list is going to work if I pass it through. What we're going to do is we're going to go to vector3v. Not true. Where was game view system, I think. Yeah, right here. Game view system. Interesting. Now the current load data is in the board view, right? That's where the level data is. Right here. I'm just wondering if the game view system has anything. No, it doesn't have access to the board view. I kind of feel like not generating that here, like generating a map in the game view isn't really, I think, the right, like this temp stuff here, like the match data, that's okay. But the actual, I can call this in anything. So let's go into the board view. Level data is in board view, so I'll just put it here. And what is in the board view? The board view will do a, it gets the match. Yeah, it grabs the match from the container in the game view system. Yeah. Here I generate the hex map view. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Shit. Okay. See here, yeah, I'm generating the view from the data, which is good. I should probably replace this and just use this one. Because this one will always pull from the non-mono behavior side. And if there's a level data, that's what's going to populate the non-mono behavior side. So that generates the view, but I want to generate the map. Board view. It's hard to know, eh? Sometimes it's hard to know where the best place would be, the most logical place to do it. Board view, clear search. See, this is all, I think, logic. It should be on the data side, but this is all. Anyways, I think I'm gonna have some refactoring to do. Let's just generate. We'll just generate level data or load, generate or load level data. And what I'm gonna do here is I am gonna need, well, no, I'm not really. It's component. Game, get this right here. So what I want to do is get the aspect this, right? And what I want to do is I want to do a load level data, and I want to put level data dot tiles, and that does not work because it's not the same. See, system dot collection generic list to Unity Engine Vector 3 list is not the same. The list on the Unity side is not the same as the list on the non-Unity side. So it's not recognizing it. But, you know. Where's level data? Right, level data. Vector through, it's a list. Oh, it's a list. I made an array. I think I made an array. Let me see here. Wait, I'm confused. Right here. Yeah. Is that a list or an array? What's the difference? Let me just try something. Can I do this instead? Ooh, that seemed to have worked. Ooh, that worked actually. Okay, we'll see if nothing explodes here. Okay, so for the so what we want to do is we want to run this load level data. Now, loading level data or generating hex map. I have to create another. That's to generate the view. What I could do is just do load level data just to test it. And I am not going to want to do this. What I could do is just comment all this out. This entire thing here that we did earlier. It's going to be in there now. And it'll only do anything if there's level data. But I mean, Yeah, and then if I go to game view, okay, I blocked this out, generate hex map. And if I go here, generate hex map here. I don't want to do that. I'm loading level data. It's going into the data. Why do I have load level data twice? Ooh, I don't know. So that's populating just like this would have done. And then when that's done, board view, I generate the map visually from that data. All right, we'll try it and see. And we got errors. Okay, what's wrong? Oh. Yeah, I don't want to do this yet. This is the state stuff for later. For getting the I can keep a debug log. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Just like that's fine. What tile doesn't what? Step height, jump, walk movement. Oh yeah, okay. You want the step height. And I removed that a while ago. It was at this here. Oops, that's a float. Okay, I didn't spell it correctly. Isn't that right? Tile should have height. Oh, it's here. Yeah, I don't know why step height. I need that there. I don't know why I'm using this. It has something to do with the jump. But what the hell is it saying? An object reference is required for a non-static field method or property. Yeah, I added it. Did I not make it public? Tile? Yeah. What the hell's wrong with it? Tile? Step height. What the? Times 2F. It's a new vector 3. It wants to take from tile, not step height. That's throwing me off. I'm just going to comment it out there because I'm not doing any walk stuff. Oh, jeez. What else is it going to complain about? All right, there. Just comment it out for now. All right, no more errors. Okay. So, board, level data, right? Level data, boom, all this data. Nice. Board. This should go in and come out and create the board. Just like no changes from before, but it didn't do it. It didn't do it. Oh, no, it uses tile list. Why? I'm not putting it in tile list because that's a redundancy. The given key was not present in the dictionary. Oh, placement of the ally unit placement. Add center. Yeah, I'm just gonna comment out the spawn stuff because that was those weird green guys that were showing up when I wasn't ready to start doing that. So I'm just gonna do a return. Oops. And that'll be a, we'll just say that units are spawned and that's fine. Okay. Okay, now what's going on here? The problem, what the heck is it saying now? Game view system, action system update. That shouldn't be breaking. So I haven't touched anything about that. Yeah, tile list doesn't have a link. So what we're going to do is we're going to create it from the dictionary in hex grid system. So I'm going to create a tile list is going to be thinking. I kind of want to see. I'm gonna bring it in here. Game view system. No. Okay, I want to get rid of this and the walk movement. I don't need. Hex system. This list. I'm going to go into right? I don't know why that completely. Why is it going over there? Oh, because I'm putting public. It's not public. Level data, like this. So why is it complaining? Because it's never used. Equals. New tile list new tile. I need a number. The number is going to be the length, and the length of it is going to be game. And it's going to be the length of the dictionary, which is tiles dot count. I don't think I need anything else there. No, okay. All right, so I made the list. So this is going to chill out, theoretically. And then that's just the length of it. Now what I want to do is for each, or one of these, I could do a for each tile. Oh yeah, this is different because it's a key value now. I forget how to do this. For each tile, I'll just try it straight up and see what happens. For each tile, in I'll just try it straight up and see. We'll just go tiles. Will that work? No. Convert key value pair. Tiles dot tile or value. All right, yeah, that works. Okay, so for each tile, good. I wonder if I even need a list, because if I could just I think I could just do this. I don't need this list. It'll be less redundant, right? I could just grab each of the values directly from the dictionary. The tile itself, I just need to generate it. It doesn't matter what order it's in. I instantiate the tile prefab. The height of it would just be tile.height. Right? Tile.point. I mean, yeah, I could even put the coordinates, even if right now I'm not necessarily using them. So a new position here. What is this? Oh. This will not work. I at no point apply that to anything. I never do this width stuff. That was when I knew I wanted to create a flat ground. So I was defining width and height, like X and Y, and I wanted that like 10 by 10 filled in. But now that I'm using actual level data, it's kind of random. And I never set those values. What I need to do is not use width and height, even though I only seem to be using width here. And I need to set it uniquely on the point value, because the point value, X, Y, and the point will be where it needs to be anyway. I don't need to know the limits of the map to position them. I is completely useless here. Game.getAt, I'm looking at width. Oh, I see. So what I could do here is just do that should work. Now, I'm going to try it again, but I'm not sure here anymore. And again, it's still X, but I might need to do Y. But position X. Y is going to be based on 0, but we'll get that going after. Y is going to be the height. Or no. Actually, no. We'll do Z will be the height. I'm going to bring this over here. And I'm going to do 0, 1, this. That'll be the height here. Math floor. See, floor can't work because it doesn't use, it's ints. And 304. God. I'm guessing here. We'll guess and we'll tweak. Tweak as we go. Tiles.add. So I'm creating a new dictionary. I'm adding to the dictionary here of the board view. The board view will have a tile view. The dictionary is just a copy of what's sent over. I'm going to call it the server. It'll be easier. The server is going to be all the non-mono behavior stuff. So the tile is going to be added here from what we get from the server. All right, let's try and see. Ooh, errors. But it was running when let's try it now. Okay. It's not at all what I wanted, but let's see what it's doing. 0, 0 is fine. 1, 0 is fine. 2, 0 is in each other. It's like this one here needs to be here, which is very strange because it's non-consistent in the way it's doing it. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This all sort of seems to be in order. Oh, look at this. It's up here. Okay. Well, the good thing is I'm able to transfer the vector 3 lists from mono behavior to the server. It's just along the way I'm not transferring it correctly. See, this one here has a height of 1, which is why it's up 1. So what's happening, and this one here probably has a height of 2, height of 3, height of 4. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting the vector 3 stuff mixed up. Which was kind of expected because I wasn't sure what I was doing here. I knew something was going to break. It's just a question of putting the right ones in. Okay, what do we got here? X. Oh yeah, I had. Yeah, I think that's right because I'm doing world space, I can't be switching this stuff around. It has to be like this because Y is up and down in the world space, and I can't do that. So I think this will do it. Let's just try that. It might just be that. It was. Not really, actually. It was part of it. Something is weird. So 0, 0, good. 1, 0 would be here. 2 and 3. This second row here looks all right, but it needs to be like this and like this. So let me just undo this stuff here. So you see here how every 2, but they all are aligned in this direction. See, they're not supposed to be all aligned in this direction. There's supposed to be a 50% offset on every 2. So this one's normal, this one's got a 50% offset like this. This one's normal, this one needs a 50% offset like this. Right now, there's a 50 every 2, right? So every 2, what's happening now is there's a 50% offset, but on every single one here, right? As far as a line going down here. So that 50% offset is on the wrong, like, cardinal point or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is where it's happening here. This is the 50%. So maybe we do this. Oops. Right? I don't know. What other direction is there? There you go. That's the only one. And that worked. Cool. Now that worked, but now let's put in the heights. Right? So all the data, the level data. Right now I'm transferring all the level data from mono behavior over to the server. Right? Normally I think I'd just leave it on the server, but I don't have it running. And then the server is sending over the data. Not really networking. I'm not passing it through a network, but it will, I guess. And the visualizer is creating it over again. So now we need to put the height in. So let's go take a look. Tiles, add instant point instance component tile view. Why am I reading that? I don't know. I'm getting tired. Okay. So the height is going to be Y. But, you know, Y0 is good. We don't want to move it up or down. We want to scale it up and down. Here's the scale. New vector 3. Hex, this is no way. We want the scale to be 1, X, Y, Z. We want the Y scale. And the Y scale is going to be tile.xyz multiplied, and I put it back in, so it's going to be step height. Tile.step height. It's not Z, it's height. That should be all there is to it, really. Let's try it and see. Voila. So that was a really, I got it working with the, this is working with the controller too, which is cool. I need to adjust the speeds on these things, but I got controller inputs. So that was a long way around to redo the exact same thing. But now the level data is being populated on what I will call the potential future server. And it's a good step in transferring a lot of the logic over under the server. By having the data on, some of the data on the server, start of the data, I will be able to then perform game logic using game data on the server. And then that server will pass the results to the visualizer, which will be Unity and mono behavior. Yeah, I'm zoning out a little bit because I'm tired, but that's cool. So with this now working visually the same way, but now with the data on the server, what I was doing was I was doing the hex grid, not true. It was battle controller, the board. So I'm not going to do that now because I am a little tired, but if I undo all this here, see, I was unable to get the board dot load level data. I can't access board because I can't access mono behavior. So I have to imagine this being the server and the board is client. So what I need to do is I need to access server data. Now the server data is, why is game there? Let me just try this. Out of curiosity. That doesn't work. Why not? Get aspect. This will work. Game, I get aspect, and it's going to be called hex grid system. And tiles. That's the data. That's the map data. Voila. Right? And oh, I'm kind of silly. Because the actual init battle state is to go and load that. But I really just ended up putting the whole darn thing in board view. Right here. That's pretty much the load level data. That's supposed to be an initialized state. Wow. So this could be an estate, but well, the problem is level data tiles. Ooh, I'm starting to get tired. I can't think straight. Anyways, I know this was good. If it needs, if this needs to be moved somewhere else, I can move it. But ultimately, the level data here, wait, here is now on the server. This stuff here. So that's good. All right, well, that's going to be the end of it. I think that was a pretty long one. All right.